Bro, do Benny Hanna. Do a switch Benny Hanna. Hey guys, welcome to BigDeckEnergy. My name's Casey Wood, and today we are checking out the 8-foot Keen Ramps Slapstick. So, let's go get a session, then we'll talk about the stick a little bit. So this comes in at exactly 6 inches high with the coping, 2 feet wide, with each plank measuring about 11.5 inches. The fact that it's so low and the banks are so mellow does make it pretty easy to get onto, but you have to keep in mind, once you're on top of this, this is a round rail. This bank isn't really gonna help you stay centered on that round rail. It'll just help you get up there and make it a little easier for you to come on. But nevertheless, the fact that the bank is so mellow makes this thing just really easy to get started on skating. Once you start doing 50-50s, you'll start getting a feel for it. But once you get into more advanced stuff, it's still round rail. It's still kind of difficult to really figure your way out around it. Also keep in mind, round rails are probably the weakest aspect of my skating, which is kind of the reason I got this, so I could get a little better at it. But being able to skate up the bank makes it easier for me to practice cross locks, makes it easier to kind of feel out how to lock in for certain tricks. Like I've never really gotten feebles that well, and I've been getting them pretty well just practicing on this. So you can order this in a 8-foot and a 4-foot section, but I highly recommend going for the 8-foot if you can. If not, really, it's just 2 of them slapped together. So you can order one of them and then wait a while, order the next one. But the problem with the 4-foot, every time I'm hitting the bank going up to this, I'm pretty much covering at least 1 foot to 2 feet of it. So with the 4-foot, you would pretty much just come right here. Like, that's as much grind as you would get if you're going off the bank. So I would say spring for the 8 feet if you can. Right here where the rail meets is beveled, so your trucks will kind of clear it pretty easily. I've only stuck on like 1 or 2 crooks on there, but for the most part, everything is pretty easy to get over with that. Building this thing was pretty easy. It took me about 1.5 hours. Keen has a video online that you can go over and watch to help you build it. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna give this thing a 4.5 out of 5. It's super fun. This is probably the most like mellow ramp you can get, and because it's so mellow, you could just have a really easy session on it, you know, not hurt yourself too much. It's super fun just learning your different grinds, learning how to transfer them over one side, learning how to just bring them back into the bank, also just being able to hold the grind all the way across. And you know, then even after you've gotten to there, you can start practicing ollieing into the grinds. Yeah, so it's super great for practice and a super good ramp for dorking around on. The fact that you have so many different ways you can skate it is awesome. Sorry guys, my camera died right there. I was gonna say the only reason it's not getting a 5 out of 5 is simply because it comes in 2 4-feet sections when you order the 8-foot. And what they include to attach it, screws, and the screws aren't exactly the biggest screws. I think because you're buying it in 2 4-foot sections, it would make more sense to have a bolt and nut that you could put through to attach it. That way you could take it apart and it'd be a lot easier to put up and everything. Whenever I am picking up the ramp, I can feel the stress on the screws. So that's just my minor complaint. I feel like it wouldn't have been too hard to fix that, but then again, it probably was a cost-saving measure or something. But anyway, this has been Big Deck Energy, and I'm out. You know, do like 8, 9 kickflips in a session. Do them downstairs. Do them everywhere. Do a kickflip, man. It's pretty cool.